Mayu.
All right, friends, I'm so excited.
Promise each other
Fatal Frame 2 remake.
we would be together forever.
We'll have a proper intro after this.
Mayu. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We used to play here all the time.
Yeah.
All of this will be gone soon.
How's your leg? Does it hurt?
A little. But I'm okay. Hey, Mio.
Yeah?
Never mind.
Come on, Mayu! Hurry! Wait! Mio, please! Don't leave me!
Except where relevant, I'm gonna try not to get too much into the story until
Mayu,
Mouse and I do the
what
full
happened back
playthrough.
then?
But if you're curious, go watch my playthrough of the original game,
Mayu?
which I do own. I've also got a review of the original game as well, and some extra content, because there's a lot to the story.
Mayu!
To all the games, but especially the original trilogy, there's a lot to the story.
Where are you going?
And if you're like me, a lot worth digging into, like sinking your teeth into. This one, though, I love how it ties into the first one. Specifically, like, it's so good. But again, I'll try to hold off. I'll try to restrain myself. Damn. It's gonna be hard, though, because I love to talk about this story. Fatal Frame is my favorite horror series. There's something about Ghosts that I think it's underutilized, and when it is done, it's not done well. Except for the Fatal Frame series. I think zombies are boring. Like there's so much, like Silent Hill is more dreadful. Like they do a really good job like inspiring the feeling of dread in the player. Where Fatal Frame gets at that, but it's much more. It gets at the horror much more, especially because of the strength of the storytelling, where the dread is still there while we're playing, but I feel like they do a better job with the horror. Anyway, before we go any further, where are my manners? Hello and welcome to Ravenrook Plays Fatal Frame 2 Remake Demo. Again, Mouse and I will be playing the full version when it releases. I am gonna say, I hope this HUD on the left-hand side of the screen goes away. That's annoying. It's distracting from the beautiful environment. There it goes. It goes away. Good. But yeah, we're getting into this. We're sinking our teeth in. We're gonna talk about just general thoughts. Mouse and I will also put out a video.
I'm so sorry.
So that's... No, we're not gonna say. We're not gonna say. I'm gonna hold my tongue.
What is this? Mayu?
The lost village.
And blank screen. Here we go. So before we go any further, the visuals, they're good. They're updated. That's good. Obviously the camera angle, so we're not dealing with like static camera angles, you know, as we walk through, you know, Fatal Frame, especially in the first 3 games, would use like a lot of Dutch angles. They'd use, but it was like, it was a static angle depending on, you know, you'd go from screen to screen and it would be a different angle or whatever. But, you know, that contributed to the horror. The 4th and 5th entries moved away from that, and it was just like, all right, well, the camera follows you as you go through, right? So it wasn't like this top down or these different wild angles depending on what screen you were on. There are pluses and minuses. Obviously, the fixed camera angles and all that good shit, like, yes, it feels old, it feels clunky. And again, it definitely harkens back to a certain time period in gaming history, but also it can contribute to the horror because of what you can and cannot see. When you have full control of the camera, when you are playing, when you feel in control and it's following the character, the player gains more agency over the world. You can see certain things, and that can, depending on what the devs do, that can amplify or it can detract from the overall horror experience. So we'll see how they handle that in this one specifically. You know, but that is just from a mechanic standpoint, that is a key difference from the 2 iterations of Fatal Frame 2. I will say, like, obviously the graphics are updated. Everything is reimagined, which is really nice. But in my opinion, at least, that is not enough to justify a remake. So there better be more. Also, like, just again, 2026 standards. These are not the most impressive visuals. Even if we think about last year, 2025. So 2025 and start of 2026, not the most impressive visuals out there. So, you know, they're certainly better than they were in, what, 2002, 2003 when Fatal Frame 2 came out. But, you know, if we just take them in, you know, compare them to the contemporaries of the Fatal Frame 2 remake, all I'm saying is, if updated graphics is the only thing that has changed and the camera angle, we're gonna need more. We're gonna need more for a remake. Otherwise, just put out an HD remaster. So let's find out. That is not a criticism. That is just, again, this is where we are right now in the demo. If that's all that has changed, it's not enough for a remake.
Mayu.
Obviously, we have this hand-holding mechanic, which is nice.
A long time ago, there was a village here that disappeared during a festival. And people who get lost in the woods.
So let's wait to move forward.
Do you think this is...
So that's Mayu saying all of that. That's interesting. She got called away by the Crimson Butterfly. Is this stuff that she already knew? Is this local legend that we would have both known? But the fact that she's bringing it up, that's interesting. We see the specter moving into the house.
I wonder if anyone's in there.
Dunno.
We see this scene again. This was so creepy in the original. I like that it's still here because, like, that, again, it's subtle, but that is horror. Like, she thinks it's Mayu comforting her. And who the hell was it?
There's someone in here, though.
News clippings. A pair of clipped newspaper articles printed about a year prior. Okay, so I have to go back and look at my playthrough of the original Fatal Frame 2. I can't remember if there's like a year, like verbatim or whatever, printed. I'm happy that they at least say about a year prior concerning search efforts to find Masumi Makimura, a missing geological surveyor. So I do want to bring this in because it's relevant to whom we're going to encounter in chapter 1 of this game, which is what the demo allows us to play or gives us access to. So Masumi Makimura is a geological surveyor. He was sent to Minakami village, or what was formerly Minakami village. It's all gone. It's wiped off. It's even wiped off the maps, which we'll find out more about later. I'm gonna not go too much into that, but he comes here because they're going to like do a bunch of construction and all that stuff. So that's why Mayu and Mio come here now, because this is some place they came to as children. We saw the flashback of the fatal, or not fatal, but the big injury that happened to Mayu while they were playing here as children, where she slipped and fell and hurt her leg, and it's something that still kind of impacts her to this day. Again, I'm an identical twin, and I was born with a clubfoot due to complications with me and my brother, and who was supposed to be born first, and I ended up getting my legs stuck, so I had to be taken out first. I was slotted to be second born, and I got my legs stuck up in there bad enough. They were like, no, we got to take him out first. So fighting in the womb like Jacob and Esau from the Bible, but also I just love all the connections I have to this game as an identical twin, as someone who also has a leg injury that it's a lifelong impact. I had surgery. It was very experimental. I have chronic pain to this day. Thanks to the surgery, I was able to like have a mostly normal life. I could play sports, all that stuff. I was always a little bit slower because there's just not like walking, running, all that stuff. Like it's, there are two different sizes. I have less muscle mass in my leg that was affected. It's just, it's always, it has an impact on overall. Like my brother was stronger. He was faster. So, you know, I kind of get where Mayu was coming from a little bit. But yeah, I want to like, we need to bring in here, like they come back here because this is going to be cut off from them. It's going to change irrevocably. It's going to be altered. And this is a place that was important to them. It had significance to them from their childhood, for better and for worse. And so they come back here before all this happens, but we find this news clipping. It's like all this work was supposed to be done, but the guy who came here ahead of all of that, he wound up missing. A 26-year-old surveyor by the name of Masumi Makimura has gone missing after being dispatched to conduct work at the construction site of the Minakami Dam. The dam, which has been in the works since last year, is set to submerge parts of the area underwater. Makimura was sent to investigate the impact construction may have on local historical sites and other areas of concern, but has yet to return after 5 days. Search for missing surveyor called off. The search for missing 26-year-old geological surveyor Masumi Makimura, which began on the 4th of this month, was officially called off yesterday after turning up no leads. Makimura, who had been missing for 10 days prior to the search's cancellation, was surveying the Minakami Dam construction site. Yeah.
It's here. Should we look around? Mayu? Mayu! What's wrong?
Was that Azami and Akane, right? Because weren't they... Sorry, I'm... Not another fucking word about that. Let's wait on that.
I don't want to kill anyone. What was that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Mayu.
Grab my hand.
Mia, don't go too far. Whose is this? What if someone else is...
I do love... Let's just get rid of that. I do love... You pick up the flashlight and the focus is on her and like turning on the flashlight. That is so cool. Like, and it stays there until we do what the game is instructing us to do. That's an interesting moment. Like visually, like just like how it's prompting us, but how the visuals and the visual storytelling align with the instruction to the player. That's a really neat moment in like just thinking about overall game design. Okay, so just to kind of again provide just a bare minimum of context. So Masumi Makimura came here to do the geological survey. He brought his girlfriend with him. So that's who we primarily saw in the vision, as like other, like the wraiths and stuff were kind of appearing throughout. She came here with him. And these notebooks that we find lying around are gonna give us some insight into like what happened to her. And obviously Masumi, right? He's missing. Like they called off the search. They didn't find him. He came here to do a job and nobody heard from him for like almost 2 weeks. And they were like, yeah, search over. That has always like, that has always bothered me about these games, is they're just like, yeah, you know, I guess someone else got spirited away. No other explanation. It's like the police even, they're just like, yeah, sucks, bro. Like, not gonna look any further into that. Like a whole bunch of people could get away with murder over in these areas. Because it's just like, the police are just gonna give up after X amount of days and be like, yeah, ghost man. If anybody is reading this note, please come find me. I don't care who it is, just help me. I can't get out of this village. Save me. Miyako Sudo.
Mayu.
Mayu! Kia! Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah, let's go to sleep. Looks comfy. I remember hearing stories about a village that disappeared from maps. Supposedly it was because of the day of a big festival a long time ago. Tons of people got massacred. Sounds like a great festival. But it still exists, and the twin Jizo statues that can be found in the surrounding forest will lure lost people toward it. Once you pass through the gate at the entrance, there's no leaving it. From there, the night of the massacre continues and the sun never rises. In the midst of all that, I can hear the terrifying laugh of a woman echoing throughout the place. As the stories go, the only survivor in the village that night was, you guessed it, a lone woman.
Mayu.
I love that our flashlight flickers. Like, that is such, like, this is our light source. This is what we rely on for clarity, for direction. And it's not infallible. Yeah, so real talk, this is like my third time playing through the demo. Because I really did want to sink my teeth into it. I want to get, okay, so that's the other thing. So they're introducing this new mechanic of willpower, right? I know, man. Whatever. They're introducing this new mechanic of willpower, which was not in the original iteration of this game. We obviously had health, but both of those can replenish. I'm not sure by how much, but they can replenish when we come to a lantern, like a save location. I have faith that they are balancing the game for that, because, like, I want to say on the normal difficulty, I have played some of the original trilogy on, like, the hardest difficulty, because sometimes, like, a true ending is locked behind that or whatever. So I have, like, bitten the bullet and done that, just to get the true ending. But, like, I always found on the normal difficulty of the original trilogy, that was a great balance of, like, difficulty, story, like, just the enjoyment. Like, were there times where I was frustrated? Absolutely. But for the most part, sorry, my dog wanted down. For the most part, I found it to be a really good balance. So with this, and we didn't have, like, you couldn't just go to a save point and have things replenish, right? I'm hoping that in other areas they account for that or balance that out, so we still have that same kind of challenge, and like, just knowing that you can go to a save area doesn't kind of detract from the overall urgency or like the, like, how in danger you can feel at certain points during the game, both, you know, through the gameplay, but also what's happening in the narrative arc. Those kind of combined together can work really well in tandem, and I'm hoping that, you know, just being able to go to a save point doesn't kind of, like, take the wind out of the sails of that endeavor, is all I'm saying. We don't see enough in the demo to kind of get an idea of that, but again, that's something we're gonna watch out for in the full release.
I wonder what this key is for.
Grab my hand. Together. Sometimes I sense a figure walking past the window outside. It's someone holding a torch, whispering about something as they walk along the road. It sounds to me like they're looking for somebody. I don't know who it is, but I know it's not. Okay. So this bothered me the first time I played the demo. You see on the right-hand side this scroll bar. We already had one. The Geological Surveyor news clipping, that was our first rodeo with this scroll bar. When I played the demo the first time, I didn't notice this, and I didn't realize that I was missing some of the text when I was reading through the documents. And that's a problem to me. I don't, like, again, you don't have to absorb all the text. If you want to understand the story and the larger narrative, it's essential that you do. But if you just want to, like, have a fun time in your cutest miniskirt taking pictures of ghosties, that's fine. You know, have a horrifying, fun, cute, you know, girly time, great. Have at you. But, like, if you want to understand the story, you have to read these. And, like, the fact that, again, maybe it's obvious to everyone else. It wasn't obvious to me when I played the demo for the first time that this scroll bar was here, and it was a little annoying. It was like, okay, well, if we have pages, right, we have to cycle through this. Why do we have this scroll bar? Just like put enough text that fits on the first page and then put the rest on the second or even the third. Like, why do we have both? Why even have page turns and just have a scroll bar and just like scroll all the way down through the text? Like, don't have both. That's confusing as hell. Anyway, I don't know who it is, but I know it's not Masumi. I can also hear music off in the distance, mournful sounding music, like it's some sort of festival. They say this village disappeared on the night of a festival, a night that repeats over and over and over again. Great.
Yeah.
Glad we're here.
I feel like we're being watched by someone.
By whom? Oh no, it's stuck! Okay.
Let's go. Mia.
Oh! Okay.
Mayu.
So obviously the Spectre is leading us over there, but let's get this. You'd think I'd be too tense to ever fall asleep in a place like this, but the moment I lose focus, I always seem to pass out. Maybe I'm just that exhausted. In my dreams, I see the darkness encroaching upon the village. I see the massacre. I see vast pools of blood and bodies stacked on top of them. I see a woman in a blood-soaked kimono, laughing a deranged laugh. And I see a pair of twins, young girls begging for their lives to be spared. I can still hear the woman's laughter ringing inside my ears. I don't want to fall asleep again. I'm too scared. Yeah, so, there's so much I want to talk about, but we can't. Yeah, I was gonna...
Together.
But no, we'll hold off. We'll hold off. It's gonna be difficult for me. Okay, well, we found the key.
It's a bit cold.
A memo found in the Osaka House's altar room outlining the functionality of the camera obscura. Here we go. The camera obscura is a photographic device designed by Dr. Kunihiko Aso to capture spiritual beings that are typically imperceptible to the human eye. Specifically, it is capable of revealing the following: past events as contained in residual emotional energy and visible apparitions, though I'm certain it can capture even more than that. Photographing these supernatural phenomena that defy conventional thought enables the wielder to achieve an effect akin to a traditional exorcism. However, this process also establishes a bond with the subject. Yes, so we saw that in the first game with Yae Munakata becoming obsessed with the camera obscura and all that it could do, and eventually losing her mind. As a result, judicious use of the camera obscura is required, otherwise these apparitions may take over the user. One can only imagine what this gadget can unearth if one were to photograph the hidden ceremony that takes place in Minakami village. Yes, so there's the festival, obviously, but true to form for the games, there's always a hidden ceremony that's kind of an undercurrent to the main one that is public facing, that like people are excited about. There's a festival around it usually. And then there's something darker, much more sinister underneath it all. And we get more of an idea of what that is as we go through the game, so that's all I'm going to say about that. But they do hint at it in this document, the hidden ceremony, as well as the locations that are central to the residents' faith. I believe I can speak for myself and the good doctor when I say that the possibilities intrigue me. Seijiro Makabe. So Makabe comes here with Ryozo Munakata. And again, I'm going to stop it there because we'll talk about that in the full release of the game. But those are two important names to this game and also to just the overall narrative.
Capture the impossible, the camera obscura.
So given that he signed off on the document, it's incredibly likely that this man in the vision is Seijiro Makabe.
I can't believe it. So it's true then. This is an extremely dangerous device.
The camera obscura. Mio. What is that?
So before we let this continue, we're gonna note one thing that I don't like about the mechanics of this game. But before we get into that, narrative-wise, what's interesting is the camera falls from the pile of junk. We go to pick it up, and Mayu says, "No, don't." That is her first response, her knee-jerk reaction. Yet after the vision, after it's already in our hands, and Mio utters the words camera obscura, Mayu says, "What is that?" She doesn't know what it is, but she has this feeling, this premonition around this fateful object. That's really interesting. That's really good storytelling. And why? Where does that repulsion or that apprehension, where does that come from? What is the motivation behind it? Is she fully aware of what it is? Probably not. But is it worth exploring? I think so. It's interesting. A camera that was left behind in the village. It can photograph things the eye cannot see. Several printed photographs showing parts of the village. Were they taken with this camera? Type 7 film, good old reliable. Okay, so they're telling us how to shoot photographs.
I wonder if that camera still works. So bright.
Whoa! Ooh! Oh! No! So what I hate in this moment is all of the text. We're inundated with text around this pivotal moment. And I get that they're explaining a lot of like how the game plays and like all that shit, but like we get so much text around this very scary moment. And like this. Like like look at this. We get all this fucking text around this moment, and it's like it kind of takes the wind out of the sails and kind of works against what this moment is trying to achieve, at least in my opinion. And it's like, I get it. You're teaching us a lot. There's a lot that we're learning, a lot of really important aspects of the gameplay that we're learning in this, but it just feels like we could do better. We could execute this better. And this is not a problem, and I call it a problem because I think it is. It's not a problem unique to this game or even this series. but it's something in the gaming space that I find I like, it's tiring, it's taxing.
We should go very far in.
Again, precisely because I think it works against
Mayu.
a lot of what the game, narrative wise, gameplay, story, like everything, what the game is trying to achieve. I think it works against that. And again, I'm not a designer, I'm not a developer, but there's gotta be a better way. There's gotta be.
It won't open. Mio. Over there. Together.
Okay, now we can finally go upstairs. No! Okay. How long have I been in this village now? I have no idea. The sun never rises here. It's always night. I hate the dark now. I can feel it driving me insane. I want to leave. I want to see Masumi. Please. Please.
Something's not right about this place.
Oh, here we go. Herbal medicine. Stone mirror. Nice. I can't move anymore. I'll just stay here. So what I like too is, you know, we've obviously combed through the place. That's the what is this? The Osaka house, as it's become, as more of it has opened up to us, we've combed through, you know, in order, and we found up till now, sequentially, the next notebook excerpt in the series. But now we've jumped, what, from like notebook 5 to 9? And that's nice. I like that, because we get this insight into presumably something more toward the end. Like if she has like 50 notebook excerpts, that's like way too much. Like that's overwhelming, and that's also like, you know, that becomes unrealistic. Like how much is this bitch writing? Like she's you know, she's been cut off. She's trapped in this horrible, hellish, nightmarish experience. She has that much time to write. So like presumably we're toward the end of it, and now we have some gaps to fill in, and that's cool. I like that. I can't move anymore. I'll just stay here. I know Masumi will come back for me. He just needs to find a way out of the village first. If Masumi comes back for me, I'm going. He came back. But that feels a little sinister.
So, she got lost in this place too. She came in here looking for her boyfriend. And then, where did she go? This place must be... Mio! My...
Why? Oh, here we go. Ah! Not a great shot. Ah! No. Oh, okay. We can dodge. Yeah, dodging is great. Love that. Ooh! Yes! Take it, bitch! No! No! My hubris! Oh, shit. Where are you? Where are you? Oh! Okay. Yeah, dodging is nice. This is taking a while, though. Oh! Oh! Where are you? Oh yeah, once you've inflicted a sufficient amount of damage, shutter chance, blah blah blah. Again, why all this text? Why? Right now. Oh. Fuck. Oh. Okay. No, too early. Too early. Oh. Okay. Oh. Oh, special shots drain willpower. I like that. I like that update. Oh. Oh. Okay, let's end this. There we go. Didn't stand a chance.
Crimson butterfly.
So I love too the detail where she references she loses consciousness. It's like eternal night here. This is what happens to Mio. And now Mayu is nowhere to be found.
Mayu.
Oh. Spirit Stone Radio. The Spirit Stone Radio takes the basic concept of a crystal radio, which uses crystals and parts of its circuitry to pick up signals, and upgrades it to enable voices to be heard from the spirit realm. Sure. These voices come from crystals and other such minerals that were previously worn by people for extended periods of time. After prolonged contact, the owner's emotions become embedded in these rocks, releasing a special kind of light invisible to humans. Such stones are referred to as spirit stones. According to Dr. Kunihiko Aso, sounds emitted from the spiritual realm can sometimes be heard without the aid of a radio. Premonitions, the ability to sense others, and synchronicity similar to those found in twins are all things attributable to these sounds. Okay, and we got Mayu's charm. Creepy.
Mayu! I'm sorry. I have to go.
I love how lame the excuse comes off. Like, bye. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So, again, there's some really good things. I like some of the updates. Only time will tell. Like, when we play the full game, when we see, was this worth it? I don't know. Yeah. I'm not just going to be like, and if you watched my videos, if you know anything about me from my videos, what I'm all about, I'm not just like 100% on board with remakes. I don't do the whole like just like fandom shit. Like, I love Fatal Frame. Fatal Frame is my favorite horror series. I want more Fatal Frame. But I also want it to be good. I'm not just good. I want it to be excellent. So only time will tell. Again, I pointed out a few things that, like, if all we get is better visuals, and some minor gameplay changes, should have just done an HD remaster. So we'll see. But again, there's not enough in this demo to make a judgment call. I'm going to put out there that if those are the only things that have been updated, again, should have just done an HD remaster. But let's see what happens. I think I'm cautiously optimistic that the devs are going to make a compelling case with the full release of the game, like a strong, compelling argument for why this game should exist. Let's see what happens, but I'm cautiously optimistic. Was the demo fun? Absolutely. But let's see what happens in a few days with the full release. Until then, peace.